Hello classmates, my name is David Delaney. I'd like to share with you my expanded core curriculum option that I chose. The option that I chose is the Orientation and Mobility Family Booklet. It will be this picture here on the website, and you can find it by going to the aph.org website, clicking Shop, and then clicking Orientation Mobility tab, and right on the first page you will find this booklet option to click on. What this booklet is selling for at this time is $30. It is actually on sale for $20 at this time, as the original cost is $50. It is recommended for the developmental ages of 4 to 21, so all grade levels have the opportunity of using this booklet. So this booklet, what this booklet does, and a little bit about this booklet, is it's a software that you can use in your computers, which is awesome, and it will help you create an orientation and mobility booklet for families for the student. So what that means is you can have, say, 5 students, and you can develop their own special orientation and mobility booklet that you can give to the parents to show them what they are learning through the orientation mobility field, and they can read through it at home and use some of the stuff you're using at school at home to help them along in the process. This software actually has quite a few features, so bear with me. I'd like to share you with these features because I believe all of them have a high importance with this program. So I'll just read off the list, and I feel some of them are a little more important than others, but they all, I feel, offer quite a great benefit for the student. So the first feature is it has the ability to input your contact information once and use it for other family booklets. So that's just going to save you time. You can put in your contact information. For example, I'd put in Mr. Delaney, Grand Meadow Public Schools, address, phone number, and all that stuff. And it can repopulate for each student you'll use it with. The next feature it has is it will introduce yourself to families in a style that fits best for each. You can change the style of your introduction to each family member. There's some more family members that you could be a little more comfortable with interacting with, and you can kind of make the introduction a little more funny or a little different to each family's dynamics. The next one, it invites contact and communication. So with the family booklet, you can put your email, phone number, and personal meetings. What they found out by doing that in this booklet, the parents are seeing that more often, and they'll contact you more with more questions, seeing if they're doing the orientation mobility stuff at home correctly, which is great because having the parents work with their child at home is just going to benefit the student even more, as they're getting pretty much double services here at school and at home. The next feature is it will explain the meaning and importance of orientation and mobility skills for the student in your own words, with language provided by the software. So what that means is, the definition of orientation mobility can be found different in many different areas when you look it up, and it might be kind of hard for some people to understand. So as we as professionals have the availability with this software to provide a definition of orientation mobility in our own words and making it more student friendly and parent friendly, and you can explain it at a more in-depth but yet easier to understand way for the parents and students. And then where it says the language provided software is it actually can provide some different languages. I wasn't sure about this, but when looking the software up a little bit more, I believe it has a few options with different languages. The next feature is it can show the family the impact of eye condition and visual functioning of the student's orientation mobility, with the eye condition and definitions pull down, input fields for relevant functional vision information, edible explanations of acuity fields, visual functionality, glare sensitivity, and the uses of lenses and optical devices. So that's a lot of information. I'll just kind of explain it here too. So this is just going to help the parents understand the student or their child's visual disability they have a little more. It will provide, some students go to the doctor and they get their acuity and it's 20/40, and parents 20/40 don't understand that. And this booklet provides good explanations of what 20/40 means for vision, or worse, what their eye disease is, and explains it. And you can provide own definitions and a little tweaks to it, and you can provide examples, and it will help you with that with this software. The next feature is it describes the student's O&M goals for the coming year, marks those skills the student has mastered, and indicates those that he or she is working on. I felt like this one is very important in the special ed field, as in IEPs we have goals and objectives that we hope the student will obtain and master throughout the end of the year. So this is actually a great tool you can use for progress reports too. It will kind of show you how they're going, and you can use this to actually be a guide to IEP development, I believe, too. You can see, they are doing phenomenal with this objective with orientation mobility. And you can, when it comes to IEP time, you can change the objectives to advance them in their progress. The next feature is it offers the family some general ideas about how they can foster the student's independence at home. You can use or edit those already in the software, and you can add or save your own. So with this option, the family can have their availability to add their own input for you to put into the software. They can tell you what they want to see kind of happen at home, so you can add stuff like that too if they have some ideas, which is great because the parents are with the student way more than we are, so they'll obviously know their child more than we do. So it is a great option for them to have the availability to add their own input. Next is it will choose specific activities that the family and student can do together. Awesome. I personally have a handful of families that when the student isn't at school, they aren't getting any academic help or any other help that they truly do need at home. I felt by getting this software, I feel like this can kind of change and help the families truly see what they can do to help their child. This is just a step in the right direction to foster a great student-teacher interaction with the parents too. So I feel that the student will gain the needed support here with the families and the teaching staff, as they can work together to foster a great program for them. And lastly, the software format is allowed to format to multiple devices, and it is print friendly. Awesome. Printing this is going to be the option that you most likely will use. You'll print the booklet out, you will put it in a binder, and that is kind of what you're going to do. And it is very printer friendly. I was searching for a video to see what the booklet would kind of look like. I wasn't able to find one, but from reading kind of some of the reviews, they say what they do is they get it by their regular sheet of paper, they put it in a binder, they can laminate it, and they have their booklet for the rest of the year. And it is great for the students there. So those are the features that this software has. A little bit more about the booklet that I'd like to share. Some of the things that parents have said about this software when I went to some reviews about it is one of the main things that stood out to me is that their favorite thing about this software is that it provides the needed communication tool between teacher, student, and staff. We discussed that before with some of the features, and that was one of the main things that stood out to me in the reviews. And if that's the case, that is amazing. Communication is huge, and we know that in the special ed world that communication will obviously lead to some great growth for the child. So if you guys are interested in buying this booklet, please go to the APH website, and once again you can find it in the expanded core curriculum area under orientation and mobility, and it is right on the first page there in that section, selling for $30 at this time. In the catalog you will find it on page 87, so if you have any questions, please you just email me. All right, thank you. Bye.